All right. I got here to Sierra Blanca, and before I got here, the thing I ran into in Sierra Blanca was one of Scott Wolf's old controls, where he controlled Sierra Blanca when I went back to Pennsylvania from Sierra Blanca the last time I was here. And when I got here this time, the controls would work, and they would control Harold, who is my brother or my dad. It's my brother because my brother is trying to be my dad, as he is not in that house getting controlled by the Pennsylvania Department of State and the United States Departments of States. Okay? So, what they wanted that guy to be, my dad, they wanted him to be the God of the government's Jesus in that house, 710 Pine Street. But that's not going to work out. Okay, so when I was coming here from the mcdonald observatory, okay, I was coming here and I ran into Robert Kennedy Jr. in the up, and we had a little argument consideration there, whatever was ready for me to talk to him about, because Scott Wolf had been controlling the Kennedys, who were supposedly in Pittsburgh, along with Bob Hope and Johnny Carson and Ross Perot and all those that were in Pittsburgh. Okay, so I was coming here and we got into an argument, and he said, Ted Kennedy lives, and I said, I am not associated with the Kennedys. I have, over the past 10 or 20 years, I have tried very hard to rid my name and myself of the Kennedys. And I put a comment in the last video where I was talking in the video with talking like this, not the parks or anything like that. But I put a comment in there about worldly values and credibility. And if you really stop to think about that, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about when you talk about worldly values and credibility. You're talking about the devil's world, the world of hell on earth, and liars and deceit in politics. I do not have anything to do with the Kennedys, and they don't have anything to do with good works or works that you would consider Christian. Okay? So I have been trying very hard to distance myself from the Kennedys, and when I came through, I didn't stop. I drove through Van Horn. And when I drove through Van Horn, of course, that place was changed, it seemed to me, since the last time I was there a couple of weeks ago. But I don't know how those people see things, if they're the same people that were there when I was there a couple of weeks ago. And of course, now you have the Scott Wolf controls, and you have the people who have been driving me frickin' nuts and aren't my brother, Harold or Hal. And I went through this argument with these people, and I told them, I said, I do not want anything to do with my family. I do not know my family. My family does not know me. My family knows my temper, which they're talking about, which I had 30 years ago or 10, 20 years ago before I went to college and nearly became a professor of college with a doctorate degree. I do not have a doctorate degree. I am like 4 or 5 classes short of a doctorate degree, but I do have a master's degree in business, and I have studied a lot about my life and my environment and the people involved with me and the people that I consider as the right people to be involved with in my life. And I have tried to distance myself very hard. I have tried uh, very diligently to get away from these people that have these um, ideas of a fantasy world where they have this dream of being some kind of character in a fantasy world, which has always, when I was younger, has always been the government, business, uh, the church, every facet of life. It was always filled with lies and deceit, and I have changed my life or tried to change my life. And when these people get involved in my life or anyone's life, what can they do? What can they do? So here we have today the internet, and we don't have the monopoly on information. We don't have that monopoly on news. We have an internet with one YouTube, one Facebook, and we've noticed, and it's been clear what has happened on YouTube or with YouTube or to Facebook. And there's that Zuckerberger showed up in House committee hearings, and they were talking about the Chinese ownership of whatever website that was, TikTok. Yeah, TikTok. And I wanted to be as clear and understandable as I could with anyone that the world is not the same as what it was. And the world has changed, and these people are set back in time. They have a guaranteed dictatorship back in time. And with the internet and the capabilities of the internet today, there's a good possibility that they won't even be able to survive. And the thing is to stick with it. It's always going to be there. It's not going to change. It's going to become better. It's not going to go, it's not going to go back to what it was. And they want it more than ever to go back to what it was. And what it was a mental slavery on the news, a mental slavery on the movies, a mental slavery with the songs, a mental slavery with the roads that you drove on, the stores you went in, the products you bought. There was always some kind of control on there that would make you accept the world as a bitter combination of a sight. You can see the war between right and wrong, the war between good and bad, the war between truth and deceit and lies. And You can be anything you want to be in this world. There's no reason for anyone to attack anyone other than to secure a domination which isn't in any way necessary. And the plan I had that I have been trying to put in the right sequence so that it could be done with the Dayton Peace Agreement that they agreed to has been completely wiped out of the political news. There's no talking about Dayton. There's no talking about the walls around the cities. There's no talking about banishment being the only punishment for crimes. And here's all of this lies and deceits that keep showing up on me with the control of my voice, the control of the freedom of speech, the control of my appearance, the control of my demeanor and how I talk to people, the control of my videos, and I just wanted to be clear. I want you people to see it. I want you to pick it apart. I want you to know what's there. And I want you to do that. I want you to be able to do that. Just like anybody else, you need friends in this world. But your friends don't have to be friends. They can be normal people with the right stuff, the right combination. That was the wrong thing to say. Right stuff was the wrong thing to say, as because everyone in that place up there is watching every video that I make in Jeanette, Pennsylvania, and Ohio, and West Virginia, New Jersey, New York. They're watching every video I make, and they could all be one person if they wanted to be, and they want that truth to not be known. They're trying to cover it up now, and you need to understand what's going on around you. And there's this confusion that has always been Scott Wolf and his family in the same way. Those are the controls that they wrote in the 70s that are back in time that you can find. And please be careful, because those people will kill you. They will. And if you are not meticulous in what you are doing, if you do not write things down and remember each and every little thing that you encounter when you talk to those people or investigate those people, you're going to have some problems. And it's easy enough when everything you do is some kind of truth or fact that you can rely on. You rely on the truth. You don't rely on other people. You rely on your own understanding, your own perception, and you've got to be right. You've got to be good. You've got to be truthful. And what I'm coming to here is nothing but something that relies on this acceptance of an imperfect world when it could be a perfect world. And people have to be so reliant on that imperfect world that they accept as fact that they can't know all of the truths that are that are affecting their lives. And that is not true. You can know every truth, that everything that is affecting your life, you can. You just have to control it for yourself and not for others, and keep it quiet, keep it to yourself. And that's how you do that. And it doesn't take anybody else. There is no one special in this world. We're all the same. We all have to learn how to live our lives. And they're our lives, not other people's lives. And that is what this country is about. It is not about some special great leader that thinks he can be something more than human simply because he has the right to control and no one else does. It's a equality of individualism is what you're looking for. That's what you want in your life. And you want it all around you. And if you can't get it, I'm sorry. I don't care how much money you have invested in the area which you are. I don't care what you have invested in your own personal environment. You have to leave. If you cannot be yourself, if you cannot be independent, if you cannot be yourself, whatever you choose that to be, you've got to go somewhere else, because that is a demon society. It is a devil's society, and there's no denying that fact, my friend. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. And those people up there, that place has always been that way. Those people have always been at each other's throats in Jeanette, Pennsylvania, and that is the absolute truth. Those people have always been that way, and that's because they're evil. They rely on lies. They rely on deceit and deception and hatred and all of the wrong things to make a right society. And you can't do things that way and expect to have a successful life. So I just wanted to explain what was here when I got here. It's one of Scott Wolf's controls that are hidden and deceptive and make him special somewhere else when he's not at all in any way any kind of special person. And there is no special people on this planet. They're just normal people, just like me or you, or they're some kind of lie that you have to believe in. Okay, so I just wanted to make that clear and known well enough for the right people, so that I don't get 40 million views. I don't get 200 million people viewing my videos. I get maybe 200-300, maybe 500 every now and then. But I do not make a big difference. I'm not something great and well known and observed, recognized. I'm not. And there's some kind of idea in your head from somewhere other than yourself, if you believe something like that, and you're not even questioning the source of where those thoughts and those ideas are coming from. Because all we live in is a material world as a test of our own success, our own life. Our own life. It's a test for our life. Okay? So I am being something that I don't want to be right now, and I'm suffering the consequences of attracting too much attention from the wrong people. Okay, so the way I got around that with other people or for other people is to have a YouTube-like website within a cyber mall that had to be username and password protected. Okay, and that's where only those that meet the criteria of membership within the organization that has the cyber mall can have access to it, okay? And that's what you want to do when you want to fix your communications problems. You don't want to use the up for communications. You want to use the internet for everything you can. And if there are problems there with the internet, you've got to address them. You can't hide from the problems. Have them addressed. Write a report. Send it wherever you think would be best for you to send it. But say something somewhere to fix the problems, not accept the problems and the ways that the devil's world and the devil's people have prepared your dinner for you at Auschwitz or Birkenau or whatever the heck those places were over there. Okay? So that's all I have to say to you right now. And with you are, yeah, you can choose my speech until I have a secure place to talk, right? Okay, so remember your Constitution, right?